Morena koutou. Welcome to Thursday the 24th of April 2025. Feeling a bit tired today, but that's all right. Got stuff to do. I'm heading into town. I've got to go to the supermarket and get our fortnightly groceries, and which I'm a bit overdue on. And I also need to pop in to the pet shop Animates and grab some dog food for Digger. And I want to pop into Bunnings. They've got some big galvanised rubbish bins and I'm just sick of the plastic ones breaking. So I'm going to get a nice metal bin. What else? Yeah, might pop in some shops in town. We'll see how I feel. But we'll go and do that. And yeah. 3 weeks of Weight Watchers, 3.1 kilos down. Kilo a week's pretty good, I reckon. That's roughly £2. Yeah. So actually, I think it's more than 2. So 4 kilos is £9. So yeah, it'll be a little bit more. But anyway. I'm gonna go and I know that because my kids were £9 and they were 4 kilos. Big babies. Right, we'll go and do that, and then I guess once I've unloaded the groceries, it's just going to be a matter of I've got some piles of stuff on that entertainment unit that's sitting in the doorway ready to go out to the various homes, so I can sort that out. And then I think I'm going to have to start piling up stuff to go to the op shop, like the furniture and bits, and maybe see if they can come and do a pickup. That might be the easiest way. That cold I've had since, well, the first weekend of the holidays is still hanging around and it's still bothering me. And I just, my throat, by the end of the day, my throat's really sore. So we're just going to take it easy, because you know what will happen. I'll burn out and I'll go to work and I'll get really crook. It's typical. Right, let's go. I'll see what footage I can get. I'm pretty shy about filming around town. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Got my grocery list. Wow. So when I turn the car on and the heater, all these little ant eggs flew out of the vent and continued to do so the whole way here. Now the ants have come out and they're trying to gather their little babies, and they'll take them all the way back in there. Poor buggers. I'm sorry, ants, but you don't belong in here. So when we get home, I will be fly spraying. Some of them landed on my leg. Gross. Oh look, there's quite a bit on the floor here. You can't really tell amongst all the sand and the dust. Ugh, gross. Right, into Bunnings. So I got in there, walked around, finally found the place where the rubbish bins were. There was a woman on one of those cherry picker things doing stuff, and I asked her if she could help me grab one because it was like right up on the top shelf. Oh, we don't have any lids for those. Then why have them advertised on your website saying they're available in your store in Gisborne? Because I actually drove, I could have actually specifically driven in just for that. That kind of thing really rips my rations. Deep breath. Right. I will carry on. Wow. And here he comes, galloping like a horse. Right, we're back from town, aren't we, Digger? We stopped and had a coffee with Evan. But, I've lost my words. Oh, yeah, I decided that I was probably actually quite grumpy. I don't feel grumpy, I don't feel low. I think just because I'm tired and still feeling unwell, I'm a bit short on the old temper. There was a little bit of road rage happening. But only at people that were being silly towards me. But anyway. Groceries were purchased, and then I ran into Habitat for Humanity because it's across the road from Animates. So we went there, and I found a couple of little bits, all useful things. So I got some buttons. Well, you can see those. I can't see what you can see. And another pack of buttons. And these ones. So I've got those. And I got this just because I love the colour. I think it'd be lovely in the summer. You know, when you're going somewhere. Isn't this gorgeous? It's just so pretty. I love these colours. Aren't they gorgeous? Just a rayon scarf. And a couple of CDs since I've resurrected my stereo. Got another Golden Horse album, which I haven't heard this one. I loved their first one, which was called Riverhead, I think, was one. It's Golden Horse is a New Zealand band. Queen. Look, I think it's a 3 CD set of Queen. I don't know what condition discs are in because they tape them up, which is fair enough. $2. Let me see. You're joking. $2 and there's only one disc in there. Surely they checked that. Bloody hell. Oh well, got ripped off there. Anyway, and then we've got this, which I just love. It's a coffee pot, which is perfect for when you're making, you know, you want a nice good strong brew for more than, you know, because the little espresso, stovetop espressos are quite, the capacity is not that great. But I love this. I don't remember what their proper names are. Are they just a stovetop perk, or it just says Stratford upon Avon, Sona. But it's an attractive piece, so we'll give that a go. I'll give that a clean and we'll have a go at that. And I think that's all I got. Yeah, so it's 20 past 11 now, so I think my next plan will be to I do need to unload the groceries. But I'd like to make some leek and potato soup. So I thought I might put some on for lunch. And then figure out what I'm going to do for my afternoon. Right. I'll catch you shortly. So that's just a lump of chicken stock that I made. It's been in the freezer for the last couple of months, since January. Some potatoes. I don't bother taking the skin off. It all mushes up, gives you a bit of fibre. And some leek. I might put more leek in, but we'll just see what our capacity is like. So I just want to melt that down a bit. Then once I've got that sort of going, I can go and start my other jobs. So I've just blended. Oops. Oh. Look what I did. I turned on the front element instead of the back one. You can tell I'm not having a day. As I was saying before I started to smell wood smoke, is I have blended this with a stick blender, and then I've just added some more water. So I just need to bring it to the boil again. Using the right element. Imagine if I'd walked out. Look at that. Idiot. So I'm going to heat this up through again, and then I'll just serve it. Maybe I should give up for today. The first fire for 2025. Oh, I've had a nap. I am very, very a little bit under the weather today, I think. I had to pull all this paper out of the fire that I hadn't burnt. So I'll have to burn that bit by bit. And those have got to go in the wood bin, but I just really can't be bothered doing anything. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to grab that little coffee pot, and we're going to see if we can brew a cup of coffee with it. See if that perks me up. Get it? Perk. So you can see the water's splashing up, but it's not coloured yet. It's when, I suppose, when it starts. I have used one of these years ago. So when it starts coming up coloured and brown, so I poured some off before and it was still a bit weak, but what seems to be coming through there is looking a bit darker, so I'm going to turn it off and we're going to pour another bit, and we're going to see how that comes out. So I'll tip that out. This is all, the one that I used years ago was an electric one. Someone had given it to me. It was like a family member of some sort. Now this lid doesn't clip on, I think, enough. Yeah, that's darker. So the what do they say? The proof is in the pudding. Let's see what it tastes like. You know, it's all right, but I feel like these give a gruntier a slightly more full-bodied experience. But in saying that, I didn't fill it right up, and I didn't fill the canister right up, the chamber for the coffee. Let's just have a look and see what it's looking like in there. So it could be just a matter of experimenting. Maybe I'm not supposed to have it boiling so much, so I might look into it and I'll come back to you and let you know. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy this. And hello. I did fall down a rabbit hole of YouTube videos on percolating coffee. And it seems that everybody has an opinion, and yeah, the only thing that I couldn't quite get was, they said now the grind is important, but nobody said what kind of grind. So I've got a feeling that, because I just used what I'd ground up this morning for the stovetop, for the mocha espresso maker. So maybe not quite so fine because of the holes. And the other thing too was to let it settle a little bit before you pour it, after you've turned it off, so that the water finishes draining through the cage. And one lady I watched, she was saying that you don't like necessarily let it go for ages to get it stronger. She said that will just make it bitter. She said if you want it stronger, use more coffee. So it's going to be about experimenting with what works for us, which I'm very happy to do. Yeah. So today's been a little bit of a write-off. I mean, I did do quite a lot this morning, but yeah, like I said, I'm not feeling the best, and I don't feel rotten, I don't feel unwell, I just feel really, really tired. So, and obviously my head's not in the right place, because we know I nearly set fire to the chopping board. What was I going to say? I'm going to make... So last night I made that venison casserole with mashed potato, but then I forgot that Evan had darts last night. So sometimes he'll come home and he'll have a little bit of tea before he goes to bed, but just depends on what he's eaten through the night. Normally they're supposed to take a plate and share, and then everyone nibbles on food. But he got me, and normally with his plate is normally because, well, I work full time. I do actually work full time, and during the school term, I just don't always have time to rush home from work and make a plate for him to take. So we usually just order a couple of scoops of hot chips and a couple of scoops of kumara chips, and he puts them in the pie warmer there, and then they bring them out when it's time. So we did that, and I ordered him a burger. And he wasn't hungry when he came home, so he didn't have any of that food. And there's still quite a lot of it there, so I'm just going to layer the mashed potato over the casserole and pop it in the oven, and we're going to have that again tonight. And I'm quite happy with that, because it was quite nice. My groceries are still sitting on the floor. All the meat and everything's been put away in the freezer, but I just can't be bothered. In fact, I feel like some toast, so I might put a couple of slices of Vogels in the toaster and have maybe some tomato and toast. And I've still got those bags of Roma tomatoes that I was going to make another batch of tomato sauce, but I've decided I'm going to slice them up and I'm going to put them in the dehydrator and try that. And I've bought a bunch of bananas from the supermarket, but I want them to ripen a little bit more before I chuck them in the dehydrator as well. I like them. So yeah, just been doing some business paperwork. Ooh. Ah. Oh, it's nice having that fire going. It was quite cold. It's just it's only sitting at about 13 degrees Celsius outside. And I think just because we've had a couple of cool days, the house has cooled down inside. New Zealand homes are notoriously drafty, just so you know. No central heating here. Yeah, and I think just because I'm so tired, I'm really feeling the cold. So, yeah. What's time now? No, I won't start the dinner until about 5, I think. I'll put another log on the fire. Yeah, might make some toast.
That you want a sort of a Mexican flavour. Hopefully this is big enough. I've gone and made myself a double.